Corn.
Cat.
We are here, and it's Thursday?
It is. It's Thursday.
Tarot. I'm Kendrick.
And I'm Dale.
Sorry, I'm like just moving around a lot this summer, and you know.
There's a lot going on.
But we're gonna do your reading. You're on your sunglasses, darling.
I'm gonna move this and get down. I don't know. I was trying to adjust myself, but I'm uncomfortable because I'm hot. It's hot. And I'm uncomfortable. But we've got the AC going, and it's cooling off. It's just like, you know, when you're coming from the inside to the outside. Are you guys uncomfortable? What's going on with you? This is opposing you, this weather. Okay?
Okay, right.
This is the opposite season.
So, we were talking about Capricorn just naturally as we were like walking around up here in Washington Heights by Highbridge Park. It's hot as hell outside, y'all.
Woo!
Right.
For New York, it's like different. We don't have as many trees and stuff, you know? So it doesn't absorb the heat.
What y'all keeping away from people? Are you guys like
Aquarius.
not talking? Are you guys not telling people the truth? Or are you trying to find out the truth within a situation?
What's going on?
What's going on there?
Yeah.
I feel like you kind of are trying to control your emotions.
What's going on, guys? All right.
By lying to people. I don't know, maybe. Do you guys lie, Capricorn?
Uh-oh.
Is that something that's been going on with you? So we're gonna shuffle your cards. I'm using the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. I'm bringing it back to classic. You know, everybody knows and loves these cards.
You guys are cardinal. I'll talk a little bit about your sign while he gets the energy together. Capricorn, your cardinal energy, you want to initiate things a lot of the times, and they're earthly matters. So you are all about getting over that mountain, getting that thing.
Right.
Cancer, Sun, Capricorn, Moon. All right.
Okay, girl.
And like with Capricorn, Moon, Sun, or rising, this is really what it's about for you guys. This reading is primarily for those people. These messages are going to be for Sun, Moon, and Rising. You could probably look at other aspects if you understand your chart a little bit better, like your Venus and Mars or Saturn, because Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn, so this would be a great reading probably for somebody who has Saturn and Capricorn as well. Yes, Saturn is your ruler, so rules karma, rules time, rules enforcing things. You know, the officer, daddy, the enforcer of like what must be. Systems, you know, the politician. So you're kind of ruling this type of energy a lot. I resonate very much with Capricorn energy. If you're Capricorn Moon, you're definitely going to resonate with Capricorn energy because that's how you see yourself, right? Because the Moon is how you see yourself and the Sun is how others see you and your actions. Right, and your rising would be just how you're existing when you're not acting or reacting, right? So that's how you can correlate with that Capricorn energy. If you know, the person who said that they had Sun in Cancer, that means that you were born during a full moon and you have an opposition going on inside of you, right? The way that your actions are and the way that you see yourself are opposing each other, even though you still want to initiate, right?
Right.
9th and 10th with Uranus and Neptune, natally on my moon. Wow, well, if you want a personal reading with us, go ahead and reach out.
Yeah.
So,
let's look at what you're rising to. I've built
ascendant spread.
An ascendant spread here, and we haven't filled in the windows yet. And we may not, you know, we might gather enough information just from this. We're thinking about how we might be able to abbreviate this too in the future for maybe like 15 or 20-minute readings. So now, the ascendant. Okay, you guys.
Namaste.
You guys got Venus and Aquarius at the top. What's going on?
All right, so Aquarius had just peeked out before.
Virgo got this card too.
This is interesting. So, okay, so Earth, where are you going with this?
Aquarius got this card. Everyone's getting this card.
Yeah. So, Venus in Aquarius, that's talking about slander. Hi.
Right.
Thanks for tuning in. Slander from within or conflict and mentally.
Right.
Talking about conflict. Uncomfortable. You're uncomfortable about something.
There's conflict in the institution of your own mind, right? Because it's talking about listening to your inner ear. So this is almost like you making things up for yourself, giving yourself things to believe that may not be true. That's why the Seven of Swords actually came up, because because it's coming from an emotional place. You actually create things, right? You're a cardinal sign, you're a cardinal earth. So it's like the materialization of something. So your words have power. When you speak them into existence, I always tell people this.
Especially
it
Capricorn.
becomes something.
Right.
Because your breath and the air we breathe,
it's
that
a
gives us life,
manifestation.
is spiritual.
Right.
So that's why people pray.
Right, because it's a different thing to think and then to say.
Hierophant.
That's why there's mirror work, which opposes Capricorn, right? Mirror work, which is going to be something that you could always utilize as well, is looking into communicating with yourself, with the shadow sides of yourself.
Right.
Because you have a conversation with yourself more than anyone else. Anyone ever. Right. So you need to be kind to yourself, and if you're not realizing that you have a relationship with yourself above everyone in your life, then you're already in a place of debilitation, right? And you need to go ahead and start the healing process because you probably haven't been treating yourself very well if you don't realize that you're there.
Here's the
thing, it's like neglect. It's like,
and that speaks to this card, which is at the bottom of the deck for you, the King of Swords, which is fixed air. That's Aquarius. Mars is in your second house of Aquarius.
The best way to use the mirror method.
And he's retrograde, right? So now you're thinking about what you have. And now you're thinking about how you're driven to attain what you want to have. And who is involved in you achieving that. It's not just about you, Capricorn. So you have to understand that there are other people involved. There is a bigger picture. Everyone's opinion matters, not just yours.
Right. This is very like what's fair in the situation. For the person who asked about the mirror work stuff, there are a couple of different books you could go in and look at it. But basically, it's just about cleansing your energy. You can use water. You can use a candle. Just the flame, and then going in and creating these manifestations of yourself, maybe a simple phrase of the day, and communicating to yourself. So you think, and you see, and you speak. And that is the thought of the day for you. And it's about hearing yourself land and seeing yourself as a real person. Right? So seeing yourself as a fair person as well.
Right. You're like, when you're fair to people, it's almost like you're doing a service to yourself, right? It's good karma.
Your real karma.
Right, exactly. Saturn, your planet, is actually exalted in Libra. So you want to think about the karma as actually being something that is manifested, right? You want to do good things. You want to make good decisions.
Lilith and Capricorn, girl. The
right way. You don't want to use people just because they have something that you want.
Okay, you just said those things about Lilith. I hope you heard that. And you can always go back and listen to the messages again. Right? Let's go ahead and keep going through because we're kind of like on a time frame and I want to get all the messages in with you guys because we love you guys.
8 minutes. Okay. So in your sun placement, wow, we just said we were going to do Cancer, but we decided to do Capricorn.
Yeah. This is blended pleasure. This is opposing you. Cancer opposes you. So you're always going to be attracted to a Cancer in a certain degree. You're almost mad at it. Like there's an attraction and tension with Cancer, because Cancer is deeply connected to their emotions and is so comfortable with just feeling and expressing and all of these things.
That's
which
really
really
who they are.
Yeah, they're not going to be restricted in their bodies or in what they feel. But Capricorn is. Like, Capricorn is like really the type of person that does not want to see you publicly crying.
Right.
It's like, public, there's like an order to certain things with Capricorn in that. And, emotions and vulnerability with the earth signs, crying and vulnerability with the earth signs already, they kind of like frown down or see kind of a little bit of a weakness there. Whereas a water sign sees it as something very empowering and not as something that's restricting. It's like, yeah, I cried and I let that go and I'm doing this. And where Capricorn is like, they made me cry.
Right.
And then, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's a perspective thing as well.
Yeah. I feel like with the 4 of Cups being here in your sun placement, you really are trying, or you need to make yourself identify with that Cancerian energy.
It's different for a Cancer moon.
Of being really receptive. This is
Moon in Cancer right here. For the person who just said, I'm a Cancer moon. This is Moon in Cancer. And we are also Moon in Cancer. So, namaste.
Right. This is bringing stability through your emotions, to your emotions through receptivity. So if you allow yourself to consider, acknowledge, and feel what other people might be feeling in the scenario, then you take it out, you take yourself out of it, and you're able to be a little bit more objective, because Cancer does have a duality. Capricorn does not really have a duality.
Right.
There is one, but it's an imbalanced duality, because it's one-sided, right? You can only see one side of a mountain at a time.
Right, yeah, and this is talking about a blended pleasure. So, you know, maybe you've accomplished something inside of yourself as far as a certain type of emotion. Maybe you really understand how you truly feel about something now, or someone somehow. But you could be spending too much time within. You could be spending too much time with the emotion almost, and there needs to be less time spending with these emotions and more time now starting to construct something now that you know what you truly feel or what is truly going on in the situation. It's like now moving towards you know, higher goals and that, and establishing and constructing something. Because it could be like it could be procrastination, very easily it could be procrastination, or just like not acting on something emotionally because you already know, or you're already comfortable with yourself or with the situation somehow.
It's your discomfort that's actually preventing you from receiving this gift of receptivity, right? It's like someone actually does want to understand you.
Say that last part again. It was a traumatic experience, but I didn't get the seed to read that last little part. Okay, a lot of people are talking about Cancer moons right now. Yeah. Okay, so there's a lot of natural Cancer moons here within this Capricorn reading, which is very interesting because I just talked about Capricorn and Cancer, right? And a lot of people, you know, when I do charts, if they have a strong Capricorn placement, a lot of times they'll have a strong Cancer placement as well. Oh, yay. Okay, so let's continue with the reading, but right now it's like, maybe you're feeling really good about yourself somehow. We also do weeklies, so we know that you could, we've seen the Queen of Pentacles come out for the weeklies like 2 or 3 times, and so there's a lot of like, you being or with something to do with yourself, but still wondering where the next thing is going to come from, or where, you know, or maybe you're spending too much. It could also be you're being selfish in a certain way, just because this is kind of like not wanting to, his fists are like, you know, I mean, his arms are folded and he's on the tree, you know, and
it's almost like you're like, I have enough, but I want more. It's like nothing's going to be good enough. You know what I mean?
Right. There's a little dissatisfaction going on there. And that's what I was talking about the procrastination. It's almost like this is where Cancer gets in trouble. It's almost like you're so satisfied already with yourself that it's not motivating you. That's the difference between like the Leo and the Cancer. It's like the identification of the emotion or the situation or the circumstance, and then like, that is what it is. Oh, that was what it was. And then staying there in it and nostalgically like being like, yeah, and then affirming yourself, but not externally. Exactly. Open up.
You need to open up, because it's like three's fine. There's something that I want, and I could have more. You're offering me something, but I'm choosing to feel like it might not be the right thing. Just open up.
This is your moon placement right now. So that was your sun. You had a moon placement in your sun. So people might be seeing you a little bit emotional right now. Maybe you've been doing some things and it can be easily read as emotional, whether you think it's practical or not.
Vulnerable too.
Yeah, something, exposure to someone, you know, because that's that moon card there. Now here we're talking about wands in the moon section. So what are you feeling right now? Something about putting more aggression into yourself, or something that you desire and that you don't want to change about it. Because with that folded there, so people are seeing you as an emotionally stubborn person possibly. Now here in the moon, I feel Mars in Aries. So it could be talking about just what you want, you know, and putting hunger, because that's the wheel, into what you want. And Mars is in retrograde right now in Aquarius. So it could be going back to something that you wanted. Or you could be getting off track with something that you thought you wanted, anything to do with like the hunger to do, right?
Ambitious plans.
Ambitious plans,
Right.
fundraising, getting
Right.
things together, a
Right.
crush,
Because
you know,
realize
anything like
something.
that.
You realize what you had
Making
to
a choice in love,
Right.
even two of wands, right?
I feel
Making
like
a choice. Do I like him or don't I like him? Are we dating? Are we going to date? Am I gonna give it to him? Am I not gonna give it to him? You know what I mean? Like, this is very, you know, Aries is talking about I am. So it's very unapologetic. And it's also the first cardinal. You're the last of the cardinal signs. So you're that last initiation, right? And it's the full-on proof of it. So here you're talking about the spirit of it, but you are the pentacle a lot of the times. You are the manifestation. So you will decide whether it's going to be a relationship or not. You will decide whether, you know, we're going to move forward in a certain way or not a lot of the times, because it is karma.
Right.
So it is Saturn. So it is the restriction. So this is a place where you're really going to get answers, you know, and that's what Capricorn needs in general. The goat, it wants to eat through and consume.
Right, exactly. You know? So this is saying that stop being selfish. You know what I mean? You have to consider that in order for you to understand other people and their ways of doing things, you have to take yourself out of your ego sometimes. You know what I mean? So stop being so selfish, Capricorn. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because everybody has, you know what I mean? It's like you're not really good at seeing the other perspective unless it's associated with you sometimes. Like, it's not that you're not caring, or I was going to say empathic, but not empathic, actually. Cancer moon's out there, though. If you're Capricorn with Cancer moon, you could be empathic. You could definitely be very empathic, because Cancer moon is the most empathic. So to have that with the Capricorn sun, it's like a very interesting opposition of people not really seeing you how you really are, you know? But a lot of Capricorns in general, it's like, it's the mountain. So it's like saying, I've had to work so hard to get these things and to do this stuff because of where I come from and what I do and what I have, education, all this stuff. So you might not be as willing to.
Right. You make it hard for yourself because you're
see
so
the other
stubborn.
side of somebody else.
Right.
And there's got to be a balance there. That's something that you can learn from Libra, which is why Saturn, your ruler, exalted in Libra.
And it's a cardinal.
You have to think about what's fair. It's not just about what you want.
Right.
It's not just about what you want.
It's like, it's kind of one-sided with you sometimes, because you're only really your own materialization of yourself, right? You're like, I am my physical. It's just me. So dry, y'all.
It's interesting, Capricorn. I didn't think we were going this route. We're only 3 cards in right now, but apparently, you know, God and Spirit really wanted you to know these things, because these are very... these are very singular cards, but what's crowning the situation is a conflict.
Right.
So if there is a kind of conflict going on within an establishment, with work, with home, with people at church, with people on your team, are you the problem?
You're conflicted.
So it's not saying that you are the problem, but you have to ask yourself, are you the problem?
Right.
So that you can know whether you are or not. You have to look at your actions. You just have to be honest with yourself. You can't just go to this and be like, it's a problem, somebody else, da-da-da-da-da.
Right.
It's like you have to make sure you do that work. And we did hint at the mirror work before.
Right.
Cancer opposing you, they would automatically think they were the problem first. They're overly considerate.
Because they are overly considerate. It's like, you're not so considerate because you know the struggles and the effort that it takes for you, just yourself, to get to where you need to go.
Right.
Right? So it's like you're really not considering anyone else, because you are your routine. You are your day. You are what you eat. You are where you go. It is all about you.
We did Virgo yesterday. Go in there.
Yeah, go see Virgo yesterday. But this is saying that it's not all about you all the time. Consider other people. Stop being so selfish. You know, it's like, if you were able to let go of some of those things that you were so stubborn about, you know, basically, you'd feel lighter. You'd be able to get over that mountain easier, a lot quicker, a lot faster. You will get to the other side. You know what I mean? And if it's at like nighttime, you will be able to see your emotions. You will realize that once you release all of those things that didn't serve you, Saturn, you are able to get to where you are really meant to be. And that's an emotional success.
Because with that card being there, crowning it at the top, it's like, if you don't listen to some of these inner things that you might be feeling right now, as far as yourself or an Aries in your life, or your establishment to love somehow, or the man in your life, definitely, you could definitely end up feeling very slanderous towards yourself.
Right.
You know, in the end, you could be feeling regret. You know, Five of Swords energy is just like, you know, something happened here. He's looking back at what happened. You know what I mean? Seriously, tend to focus so much on the passion through work, focusing on their family and friends. Yeah, you know what I mean? You can't, gotta find the balance here. So if you have a Libra in your life, definitely look to them right now. Maybe they can help you. Or an Aquarius in your life might be able to bring a balance for you that you're not seeing, because Aquarius is progressive. So there could be something mental that you need to understand, that you just can't wrap around because of the physical, and you relate to physical. We did this, we didn't. We talked, we didn't talk. I saw him, I didn't see him.
It's like,
you know what I mean? It's like, it's
you're not petty, but you two, you might allow the situation to become that. And that's not something that anyone wants. In your past, the moon.
Okay, and you're past the moon, so that was the beginning of the emotional struggle too.
Right.
Right? So something happened not that far off. This is a major thing, so you know what it is.
Right, in the past.
I don't know what it is because there's so many of you.
Yeah, right. You are aware.
But you know what it is. You're woke to it, and you could possibly still be in it, especially with the Five of Swords at the top. We're only so far into the reading, but like it's saying that there is a struggle that has happened, and you could still very much be in it. Like it could end up, with the moon being there, it could end up working out okay. Like, you know, in the end, it's like you'll probably overcome it. Maybe you'll get to a new place of enlightenment within yourself from the situation and all of these deep feelings that this person or this matter has made you feel. But you definitely have been feeling. And the full moon was in Capricorn, not this past full moon, but the full moon before that. And then you had a progressive full moon lunar eclipse in Aquarius right after. So they were kind of like preluding to each other.
What's been going on since those full moons?
And you're conjunct to Aquarius, so you usually have an Aquarius in your life or some very strong Aquarius placements yourself. And so there's a lot of bleeding into that that's going on.
That card is at the bottom of the deck, so it's actually calling you to figure out
two Aquarius placements.
What is Mars trying to teach you right now, along with Saturn being in your first house. It's like your first house and your second house both have planets in retrograde. This is transformative for you guys because
you have Saturn in Aquarius in the 11th house. There you go. And that's Aquarius's house. The 11th house. Saturn is your ruler. So that I just did all of this, right? So it was like basically what's going on in your chart.
These parts of your chart are very active.
They're talking to each other.
But for different reasons.
But they always do. Right. But now it's like they're really talking to each other because Saturn is in Capricorn and Mars is going retrograde, and Mars is the aggression. So Mars is like, look at this. Look at it. You know what I mean? Okay, let's see what's in the present. Death.
I was gonna say transformation. Pluto is in Capricorn.
The transformation card. This is good, actually. This is very interesting because we did the weeklies. This came up with Leo this week. There could be a Leo. You could be transforming with a Leo, or maybe a Leo brings transformation somehow, or both of you are going through a similar thing because Capricorn and Leo are kind of very similar in certain ways. You know, one's a little bit more about the charisma and the showcasing of it, and the other one's about just the reward after the hard work. But they're both doing it for similar reasons: friends and family, love. You know?
Yeah. Well, Pluto.
I think Mars is really trying to teach me how to move forward without controlling things and releasing the old ways of being emotionally reactive.
That
sounds like, yeah, it sounds like it. That sounds good. Oh my God, someone I'll never met who is beautiful and amazing. He's a Leo. Okay, so there you go. Because Leo is going through a very similar situation here, and there's a transformation.
Opposite Aquarius, so I can understand how that could be.
Right. And Mars being in retrograde, it's like, what you thought you wanted, you might not have wanted. Or you could just be revising what you want somehow. Or you could change your appetite with something, your hunger for something. Because it's the will. I've always wanted to do this. And Aquarius is a fixed mind. So Aquarius is going to be stubborn and be fixed about it. And maybe you're rewriting that, you know.
I always sort of relate Capricorn and Scorpio because it's almost like, you know, Capricorn consumes and Scorpio desires, right? So the desire and the consumption of something almost are like doing this dance, right? it's interesting with this card because this is saying that you want to have this emotional evolution. It is going to bring about some transformative energy in your life because people are going to respond to you differently.
Mm-hmm.
People won't be running away from you as much, and you won't be having such, forceful conversations.
You are having mental conflict.
Right?
You truly are. And you know what? It's the mental conflict is deep. Not only are you talking about water right now,
Here's your
you're talking about deep major arcana water.
Yeah.
We're not even talking about cups.
Right.
We're talking about freaking deep water. You got you got the moon and you got the death card. Okay, so this is talking about deep, quiet transformation. Like this thing made you struggle, feel so deeply, feel so bound somehow within this struggle of whatever it is, and it has to do with love and being loved in return somehow in an establishment or with a person, values, anything like that.
You gotta give.
You have Venus in Aquarius, see? Yeah.
You've got to give in to what Spirit is trying to give you.
You do. You
Right,
really do.
because it's
making you.
Right.
It's making you. Your ruler is in your sign.
With Pluto.
With Pluto.
Both retrograde.
This is Scorpio,
Right.
which is the ruler. Pluto is its ruler.
Right.
And this is your present situation. And this is a symbol of transformation. Death. What is death? Death is finite. It must happen. It's
Right.
karmically related. We
Yeah.
will all die. So, how you look at it, are we going to have to drag you through this?
Right.
Just kicking and screaming, getting killed?
Another
Or are you going
thing-
to walk out here and accept this death and transform?
Right.
Because either way, it's happening.
Another
that's
thing
what
I
this
would
is
like
saying.
to add to that is that it's also bringing about vitality, right? So you're giving
Resurrection.
You're getting
Transformation.
Life. You're getting life breathed back into you, and it almost makes you feel rejuvenated. You're renewed. Yeah.
Let's see what's going on in the immediate influence.
Okay. Did someone's mother pass away, and that's why you might be acting a little bit stubborn?
Released it.
Are you emotional? Has someone's mother passed away? The immediate influence here is the Empress, and it's covering the death card.
There could be a grave loss, and it could be an actual person. There could be a grave loss, and your mom could have passed away, or your grandmother, or a female archetype in your life, even your sister.
It
could
be
be
the transformation.
It could be the beauty, because which I would think also Venus, or it could be there is a female archetype, and it doesn't even have to be a female.
Right.
It's a female archetype in your life, which is an energy
Trust,
that
receptivity.
make things grow, make things happen.
Right.
And that has died somehow. And that could be that because the Empress is talking about the expression.
I'm understanding.
So you are now not, because you do rule restrictions, Saturn restrictions, and karma is all dealing with you. So you're learning right now karmic lessons about what is and what can grow, what can happen, what is possible, what isn't possible, what I can express to make things possible, what's worth it, what isn't worth it, and this plant, she's talking about growing things.
Karma.
And this plant and the way that I treat this plant compared to the way that I treat this lily versus this cactus has different needs.
There's definitely karma involved because the Empress rules all of the threes in the tarot throughout the minor arcana. So this is really speaking to Three of Swords energy, Saturn in Libra. Venus is actually in Libra right now. So you are really taking a look at your relationships because there's someone, there's a presence in your life that's very beautiful, that's very nurturing, that's very beneficial to you, that is actually helping you get to this place of feeling transformed, right? Because you need that.
Or you've lost that somehow. I mean, there could be, for some of you, there could be, it's being threatened. You haven't lost it yet, but you may be losing something, and you're getting anxiety over that somehow. But there might be a transformation underway. It's like you can't keep holding on to this thing and then expect to get something else. You have to release this so that the universe can give you something else in, and that's all part of the transformation. And that's hard. Change is going to be hard for Earth no matter what. You're an Earth sign. So there's a little bit of fear with change.
Yeah, or someone someone might be pregnant, or someone may have had like a miscarriage.
There could have been an abortion. There could have been a miscarriage.
There could have been an abortion, something
with
like
the Empress and Death there.
Right, because you got Cancer Moon.
Or a struggle with a pregnancy.
Right.
Love energy has died, and I'm tired of giving. It's okay. You know,
well, now it's time for you to receive them.
You have to, and you have to be open to giving to yourself.
Spirit is always there for you to receive.
Because it's like, if you keep giving to everyone else, now you're angry because you're not getting.
Right.
But you didn't give to yourself either.
And
when you went around the table
do.
and you poured around,
right.
you skipped yourself.
That's what we're trying to tell you too, because you could be focusing on your work, and that's still in terms of taking care of other things and other people, family, you know what I mean?
Right.
But really it's like, where are the emotive qualities in your life? What
do you feel obligated to?
You need to be good to yourself. Do those things that you thought were stupid, like getting a facial, or taking a bath, or doing a body scrub, or doing aromatherapy. Some Capricorns probably don't even have an aromatherapy, you know, machine or tool in their home. You know what I mean? It's like, that's something that's very Venetian.
And you've been forced to look at emotions in a different way. Go buy some
flowers. You know, appreciate beauty, love, and emotional receptivity.
You look at things in a very duty-felt way. Mm-hmm. You do things in a very dutiful way. And it's, and you enjoy it because that's your way of being emotional, right? You're like, yeah, I did that for her. Or I did that for him. Yeah, I took care of that. Yeah, I drove him there. Oh, yeah, no, I called mom. We're doing this. Oh, yeah, okay, the birthday party's at this time. Yeah, I organized it. I called the reservations. We're good. And that's your way of showing the love. I did it. I got you the gift. I compromised this part of myself in order to make you happy.
Right.
That's why I'm doing it. You know what I mean? So you're creating these restrictions.
Right. It's like you'll drop the gift off at the birthday party, but then leave right after you dropped it off because you had something else to do.
But it's like, look at the emotions. Right.
We wanted you to
You've been forced to look at the emotions recently a lot more than maybe you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
Especially with that full moon being there.
That makes you feel like people don't appreciate you, but really what they're trying to do is appreciate another aspect of you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's see what's going on in the future.
Restrictions.
Saturn.
More restrictions.
Saturn. This is your ruler. This is actually really good for you in a sense. As long as you learn from this transformation that's happening, you'll understand. Now, this could mean a lot of different things. For some of you, especially if it's like, whatever it is that you're growing in your relationship, it might not be completely lost with this person, but it's slowing down. It's a struggle emotionally to get what you want, but it's going to be really sweet.
Oh,
it actually is. It's going to be really sweet in the end because this person knows his crop.
Right.
This is his field. This is he tills the garden here.
You understand
He knows what he planted.
Right.
He's watching it grow.
Right.
There could be a lot of, obviously, impatience with it. And it's really drawn out. But whatever it is that you're actually feeling intuitively.
I feel like I would overgive almost.
It's possible.
Manipulating the outcome. I learned that it stems from trauma of abandonment. Yes. You can't shower someone in gifts thinking that it's going to make you feel better about yourself. I've been there, meaning somebody did that for me. Not for me, but it was really them doing it to them. You know, you're not going to satisfy an emotional need that you have inside of yourself by acknowledging external things, right?
Yeah, like this is very like, this could be obviously to do with love as well, and an emotional struggle in love. Even it's like, you know what you want, but you're not allowing yourself to get it. Or there's some type of emotional restriction, and it doesn't have to do with necessarily either one of you, but it has something to do with your heritage and like all that type of stuff, location, job, schedule, routine, you know, his mom don't like you, or you know what I mean, like it's like all kind of stuff like this, like that, you know, like his sister-in-law, you know, like it's like heritage. It could be like in-law stuff, definitely.
This person in this picture, I feel like they're spending too much time acknowledging something that needs more time. It's like, why are you standing over me?
Right, watching the pot boil.
Right. Go walk over to the post office and get those damn stamps that you said you were going to pick up, and by the time you get back, the cake will be ready. This is like the kid that looks inside the oven with the light on waiting for the cake to be done baking. right? It's going to happen.
Waiting up for Santa. Waiting up for Santa.
Right. It's going to happen if you let it. You're restricting yourself. You're restricting your element of time by spending too much time and focus on something that needs more time.
Yeah. There's a transformation that's trying to be forced, and it could be to do with, like, it could be coming from a group establishment or from another person. They can have more control over the situation than you somehow, and therefore they're making you change, and you don't want that, but it's actually saying that it's good. It's like supposed to like go with this transformation, because whatever it is that you've slowly been building, you know, it's possible. So this is like it's conflict, but with an advantage. When you get to the 7, it's like you're a little bit like more in control of yourself. You're like ringing it in. It's chariot energy. So it's starting to get to a point now, whereas the 5 is like, it's just conflict, you know?
This is like the good things come to those who wait card. So cliche, but that really is what this card is about.
Who is he or her, right? Who is he or her? Mars and Gemini. So is there a Gemini going, like, do you have you know, is there a part of you?
If you
or you know a Gemini that's driving you crazy somehow, or somehow like whatever it is that you felt like you've been building with the Empress is like being destroyed because of the Gemini,
you're fueling your own anxieties.
Yeah.
Right?
Because this is your anxiety. This is anxiety. Oh my gosh, laugh it all out. Nope, that's me. Okay, yeah. Yeah, because this is like, this is really making it way worse than it is.
Yeah.
Like, this is already an anxiety card.
Right.
In the anxiety part of the reading. Right. So it's only reiterating, you know what I mean? It's like, wow.
Double.
It's like really reiterating. Because this would be, oh my goodness, anywhere in the reading. But this is like, oh my goodness, in the oh my goodness section.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, you know that, you know.
What's the fuss?
Yeah, you know that you're kind of like, Mars and Gemini, it could be, you could just be analyzing things too much. It could be not one person. It could be just you analyzing your own actions or another person's actions to death. Like literally, and maybe that's why the death card is there.
Well, why did you say this and then you did that?
It's like inevitably going to change now, because it's like you've eaten all the stuff away. You've analyzed it all down, and there's nothing left to analyze.
You're having anxieties over things changing, but things are always meant to change, right?
Yes. And like, you need to get these swords down, right? Because Mars is in retrograde. So you could be rethinking some actions. You could be, like I said, I did say regret before, and that's a very powerful word to use. But you could be very dissatisfied with the way you acted at one point in time.
You gotta let go,
you know,
of all of the negative thoughts that you're placing upon yourself and other people.
Yeah.
You're creating so much.
Get outside.
Intense worry.
Get out of this bed. You know, like, this is like, you're making it way worse than it needs to be here. It doesn't have to be. Yeah.
It's like when you're like just talking about the same
thing not communicating
all day long, and then people are like, I just wish you would stop talking about that.
It's almost like, or it's like you want to communicate with someone and you can't for some reason, and there could be emotional control somehow with why you can't, because the death card and the moon card are there, and that's definitely talking about being able to control these emotions and stuff, and that opposes you. So it's kind of like maybe someone else is able to affect you in an emotional way, and it's causing you all these anxieties. And you even know it. Like, you know that they have this effect over you. And, like, because you won't look at the transformation. Yeah, it's because you won't do the work for yourself to be like how you truly feel about whatever it is. They continue to have this effect on you. Because you won't do the work to be like, this is how I feel, or this is how I feel. I don't feel. You're not sure how you feel, because your spirit hasn't made the decision. So cups are after wands, right? Your spirit hasn't made really the decision.
It's almost like you feel like you would be at a loss of dignity if you gave in to your vulnerabilities, right? But you have to. You
have to. It's like, you don't want to look at it like you're afraid to somehow. Or you could be, like, once again, worried somehow about, like, reputation, because Capricorn is always worried about reputation a little bit, you know?
You need to understand the part that you are playing in this turmoil that you've placed upon yourself. It's not even like it's like a mental situation, right? It's like you got the King of Swords.
It's emotional and mental.
Emotional and mental, yeah. You got the Five of Swords, and then you've got the Nine of Swords. So it's really like an accumulation with this 9.
All right.
Sun and Aries.
Another Aries card. Sun and Aries. So this is Mars. This is your Mars section, I mean. This is Sun and Aries. But in the reading, this is like, what do you want? You want to be yourself. Here we go again.
What expectations do you have, right?
Yeah, or you want a lover to come back. Some of you really want a lover to come back. This is a 3. Correlating with the Empress. Yes! Yeah, you know, you said it. You really miss some. Sorry, this is in reverse. You really miss some. You're really sorry. I told you before about the regret and stuff. It's all through the cards, so I know whatever it is. You cheated, they cheated,
you guys,
or you just didn't give them a chance. Maybe they did F up, and you just didn't give them a chance. You just went off, and you didn't try to work it out. You didn't go to counseling.
Right. I feel like there was
you know?
I feel like there could have been more effort put into saving the relationship.
No problem.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like there could have been more effort
put into saving the relationship, and you are worried because you feel like you fucked up.
Yeah, it's very like, look at these cards. You can even see it. He said fucked up and put that card up there, right? And it's like, this is the hope. This is like the hope, you know, and you know,
the wind is picking up, right?
Yeah, it's like
that's this card.
Yeah.
Oh,
the air, you know. So it's like saying, getting back to the awareness of self, even, you need to put more aggression into your actions sometimes. You can be very, like, reactive, right? But you don't realize that you're actually initiating something because you're cardinal. So you're always initiating something. So you can't initiate something and then become reactive like afterwards. It's like, even though you weren't maybe direct in whatever was initiated, you knew that it was going to be bothersome. Like, you took the last chicken wing or something that your lover made or something, and you know they love it, and you didn't say anything.
Don't just make it work for you.
Right, and now you're fighting, but you knew that you were going to fight because you knew that was their favorite thing.
Because you always do that.
You know?
Right, you probably always do it.
You're so right. I need to trust God. Yes, you do. You really.
Let's see what's your advice.
The advice.
Yes.
Okay.
So really
look at these feelings of sharing. Yeah, I know it's scary. I know it's intimidating to share your emotions.
Let that love pour in, honey.
Yeah, this is like the cup. So this is almost like this could be like a teenage love. Like this could be like this feeling that the way that this person makes you feel, it's very exciting.
Right.
And like, just go ahead with that suddenness, because
this is a tender feeling.
It could be something that you have been really growing for a long time.
Right.
And there's the possibility of this is a sweet reward, even though it might take years.
Right.
Right. It's a sweet reward.
Right. The advice is saying that you need not worry because this person, this situation is going to be intimidating at first, but once you find yourself in it, you're going to be very grateful. You're going to feel very loved. You're going to feel a sense of protection as well, because these knights have a suit of armor.
Right.
This person is tender and strong.
Right. Definitely.
Right? This could even be you being tender and strong.
Be careful with your body. You know, you guys do rule the body a lot. The skin. And then here, this is like, you know, be careful with the sun, because it could be like the way that you travel, the way that you communicate, right? Because there's liquid in the cup, and there's a horse, and they're moving, right? So it's like the way that you communicate your feelings to another person will determine how well this emotional situation goes.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, if you're caring and you're considerate, but you're still being honest about how you truly feel, we can get through with something. If you kick this horse, and he goes off running, you're going to spill all that stuff out of that cup, all on you.
Yeah, because this card could also talk about just really like being upset for no reason, or stirring up emotional circumstance or situations that didn't really need to occur at all. You know what I mean? You actually want to practice your compassion a little bit more for yourself and for other people, because when someone is showing you that they care, you need to treat them like they care.
Right. Right.
Right. Let's look at your outcome, because, you know, he's about to get ready to go. Look! We were talking about it. Here it is, the Judgment card.
Wow.
I opened up our conversation today before we even went out and on a walk.
Karma being Saturn in your house right now.
I was talking about the Judgment card and what it means.
What did you learn?
This card is talking about releasing control of the inevitable.
Yes.
Do not try to stop something from happening that is happening.
Do not try to stop the transformation from happening.
Right.
Scorpio and Pluto both showed up there with the moon. And we kept talking about deep feelings, deep emotions, all the childhood issues, all the karmic issues, whatever happened to you. If you were abused, if you were touched in a certain type of way and it affects your relationships now, you have to look at all of that stuff. This is a lot.
You are going to be freed of this feeling of feeling stifled, feeling boxed in. You're going to feel refreshed. You're going to feel renewed. Because Pluto is taking you to a place in retrograde in your sign with Saturn that you've never been before.
Yeah, this is really, this could have to do with, definitely have to do with family or just deeper reasons of why you do things or your need for love and why your version of love.
Right, because this is a very individualized feeling, the Judgment card.
Yeah.
You can have this with someone else, but this is really for you. You two have helped me acknowledge the greatest gift of freedom and love. Oh, yes.
Good. Well, there's your reveal.
Freedom and love. Okay, that's what this is.
And
freedom and love.
The atonement, it's like, this is like everyone, this is like finite with the death card being there. Like I said before, it's like things are changing, period. And it's in a deep, dense sense. You got Pluto all up in here, Saturn all up in here. They're both inside of your chart right now. I'm crying right now. I almost cried.
Let it go, girl.
I almost cried too. I really did. I almost cried. Because I was just like, I know.
Let it go.
I know it's a lot. Like, this is a lot, Capricorn.
It's a lot.
It really is. It's a lot. And I can feel it. It's like so much.
Cancerian energy is running through this reading.
So I'm happy that the transformation is happening for you.
You're welcome.
You know, because you just have to listen to it. And you got to get out of this place. Right? And get outside and just not be too hard on yourself. You got to do the work.
Right.
And just be honest with yourself about what it is that you want.
Right. Spirit's going to handle it for you. I cannot tell you. Like, he's crying now. I've been crying all week with him. It's like you just got to release all of that worry to your angels, to Spirit. Because
it's like I was trying to hold it. And I have a Cancer moon. So you guys oppose me. And I understand Capricorn very well. And like it saddens me. It saddens me because you are so restricted. And you keep yourself so restricted. And it's just not fair to continue doing that to yourself. You know?
Right. So you guys, this has been a wonderful reading.
It was really wonderful.
It was really good.
I hope you got the messages.
Email us at providencetarot@gmail.com. You can also follow us on IG at Providence Tarot. He's at Blue is True with 2 T's on Instagram. I'm at NYC Kendrick. You guys, our prices have gone up, but you know, we know that there are students, there are people with humble and modest budgets. We're willing to work with you.
Right.
We're going to send you our prices once you send us the initial email requesting our services, and we'll be coming to you guys with a lot more content. You know, we're dancers, so we like to be artistic every now and then. And we'll be giving you a little exclusive information on what we have coming up. So, yeah.
Yay.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yay, thanks for tuning in. Well, yeah, we'll give you the exclusive information, and you'll be able to find us in the city. Because I know, you know, Capricorns are physical, too. So if you guys are here in New York, they're definitely, you'll be able to have personal readings with us here as well.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.